I have become sub-idiot. I don't know, the last week I've just been completely out of any sort of schedule. As much as I hate school and work, now that it's gone, I don't know what to do with myself. Yesterday, it snowed here for the first time in like a year, and it was supposed to get like, I don't know, like 3 feet. It was supposed to snow from like 10 o'clock to 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. the next morning. And I called off work because it wasn't so bad by the time I would have to leave, but I knew if it was going to be snowing nonstop from the time I was in work, I didn't want to have to leave and be locked at work, with like 3 feet of snow on the highway and try to walk home. So I called off, just watched TV, hung out. But I mean, it was weird. It was weird to that's the first time since I've started working at FedEx in June that I haven't gone in for like a weekday's work. It's odd. If I've called off, it's only been for like a weekend, like taking off the Sunday shift, and I'll hang out Saturday, Sunday, and then go back to and hang out somewhere Monday and go back to work at Monday at 5. So this is the first time I've called off on like a weekday. Um, and I mean, it was weird. And now that school's over, like I had a final yesterday. I had my economics final, 8 in the morning yesterday. I got a good grade on it. I don't know the official grade yet because he has it out of 113 points right now, but it really is only supposed to be out of like 113 of those are bonus points. So I don't know how he has all the math figured out. I don't think it's exactly like I just said. So either way, I'm gonna have a good grade in that class. Tomorrow I have another math final that haven't really studied for. I guess I could have done that yesterday, but I didn't. Which is what I'm saying. I'm becoming moron. I used to have every single day planned out. Wednesday nights I would do white coffee, wake up, have no classes Thursday, and then study for a quiz I have on Friday. And I'd spend like an hour out of Thursday afternoons studying for these quizzes. And now I woke up at 12. I have work at 4. I had to make breakfast or lunch or whatever, and then I'm recording white coffee. I'm sorry again that this episode didn't come out at 3 in the morning, but just with, like I said, my schedule's just all screwed up, and it's easier to record it in the morning than it was at night. But hopefully that doesn't break anybody's heart. Hopefully my fans are forgiving enough that they understand that it's still White Coffee Thursday. It's just coming out a little later than it normally would. But yeah, I got one more class left, and then I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do once school's completely done, and all I have to do is work now. Like I don't know what I'm gonna spend my days doing, because I'm so used to having the same structure for the last 4 months that it's like, oh, Mondays I have a break from 9:55 to 11:15. That's when I'll go to make breakfast. That's when I'll go to Giant and get groceries. Tuesdays I only have one class, so that's my lazy day. But that's when I do all my laundry. That's when I do all the cleaning in my room. And now, I mean, I certainly can still do that. Every day now is going to be completely open other than work, but it's just not the same. Like it's not structured right. It kind of happened like that last year. My first semester, I had just one class on Friday at 9 in the morning. So I would wake up early and then be done at 9. Well, early as in 9 o'clock. I'd wake up at 9, go to have class, and then come back at 9:50, and I would just be awake enough. Like I wouldn't come back and nap or anything. I would just have the whole day. Where my roommates Jason, Robbie, and Tyler would still all be in class all day, so I would just spend the time like cleaning up the apartment, cleaning my room, watching movies, just hanging out, and having pretty much just a long weekend. And I thought it was nice to have a Friday basically off. So then the next semester, I had Fridays 100% off. Like I didn't have any classes on Fridays, and I was like, oh, this is going to be even better. I'm going to get so much more stuff done. But since I didn't have a class on Friday, I had no reason to wake up. I would usually sleep in until like 2 o'clock. So it screwed up, like it wasn't actually as good as I thought it would be. And even now, like I have I had Tuesday class at 8 o'clock, and then I had all my Tuesday open, so it was nice. But then Thursdays I have nothing, and I'll just sleep in, make up for all the time I spent like waking up early. And it's also not fun because it's not a weekend. Like I have nothing on Thursday, and then I just do what? I'm allowed to hang out all day, not go anywhere. That's not fun because then I can't go hang out with my cousin or anything, or go fly down to New Mexico to see my sister for the long weekend because I got class to come back for on Friday. So I'm an idiot. and I need to make an agenda. I like planning stuff out. I don't know. I plan out even stupid stuff. I have a whiteboard in my room that just has right here. It says study matrices and Heather gift. I need to buy my sister a gift. But normally I would go all out and just have like weird, not weird, but just like mundane stuff on that list just to make it feel like I have to get something done. Like I would write like clean room, do laundry, go to Giant. I mean, it's pretty average stuff to put on a to-do list, but it also is just like I can tell I'm just going, what else could I do? Just so I can put hard stuff on there like study matrices, do math homework. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. What else could I do on this list? Oh, I have to tie my shoes. Okay, I'll tie my shoes first. So then I can pretend like I'm doing something, what's the word? Productive? Me and Jason were supposed to have a big breakfast today, but he's home in York, and I'm at the apartment in Harrisburg, uh, just hanging out. We were supposed to watch Point Break and have a breakfast, but we changed our plans because our buddy Jacob, the ex-producer on the show, is house sitting for his aunt and uncle. So we were like, well, if you're house sitting, we'll just wait till the weekend and come to the house and make a huge ginormous breakfast and watch it on their huge ginormous TV. So that's pretty much the whole story there. All I guess I'm saying is I woke up at 12 o'clock anyway, so it doesn't really matter that he wasn't here because I'd rather have slept in than woken up early and had to make breakfast. Not to mention this snowstorm yesterday. I went to Giant right before the snow started, and it was completely desolate. It looked like a Venezuelan grocery store. I went there. There was no bread on any of the aisles, except for the bread I like. I like to buy the expensive, high society, bougie bread. You know what I'm saying? So I guess in a way, like it sucks because it's expensive, but it's also good because it's delicious and high quality bread. And it's so high quality and expensive that when people buy out all of the bread in the entire store, they leave these behind. They leave this bread behind because they're like, all right, I'm not that desperate. I'm not spending $3 on a loaf of bread. Oh, but I highly recommend the Sara Lee Artisanal Bakery bread. And I go home, I eat it here, and then I go home to York, and my mom's got like the regular Giant brand bread. And the bread quality's not bad, but the slices are about as thin as a flashcard here. I could write my class notes on them, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between that and a flashcard. No offense, mother, but pick it up, all right? Pick it up. But right now, I just woke up and made a mashed potato bowl. I got the Bob Evans mashed potatoes with Purdue chicken nuggets and just corn and cheese and gravy and went all out. And I'm very full. I have a half a bowl in front of me that I need to wait and finish, but I can't right now because I think if I put anything else in my stomach, I will implode. Not explode, I will implode. Have you ever seen that 1,000 Ways to Die episode? Do you guys remember that show on Spike? But it was that one where this model was like anorexic and then or just didn't eat anything. Maybe not anorexic. She didn't eat anything and then she went to a hotel and overate a bunch of cake and desserts. And then her stomach tore and got goop all over her intestines and she died. Was that show real? I feel like some of them were believable, but some of them were like stupid. Like the one guy that ate a squirrel and got rabies. Like, I can see that being true, but how often has anyone overeaten to where their stomach explodes before they throw up? You know what I mean? Or there's this other one where this lady was into like this weird fetish, tying up fetish thing, and her husband was away, so they were on a video chat, and she tied herself to a computer chair with duct tape on her mouth, and then this burglar came in, and he had such bad breath that he breathed in her nose. She smelled it and threw up, but she had duct tape on, so she swallowed her and threw up and then died. Which that doesn't make sense either. How can you burn your esophagus with stomach acid if it comes out that way? You know what I mean? Like, I guess it makes sense. Like, you shouldn't put anything in stomach acid, but it's also like, it comes out of your esophagus. The stomach acid has to come out that way, but if you swallow it, then you'll die. I guess that's like that episode of Sunny where Frank buys poop on the internet and sticks it up his butt to get a ringworm, and then, and he gets ringworm. So, I mean, poop comes out of your butt, but if you buy it online and put other people's poop in your butt, you'll probably get sick. So, you know what? I take it back. That makes sense. I haven't been eating. I guess this whole episode is just about my weird schedule now. I don't know when to go to work. I don't know when to study. I don't know when to eat. I've been eating just like one meal a day and then Chex Mix and bottles of water. I don't know. Yesterday I went to Giant and loaded up on iced tea. Arnold Palmer, I got the cans and the big gallon jug, and it's 35 degrees outside. I have my window open. I don't know what the heck kind of windows they have in our rooms here, but I open my window and have the screen open, but it doesn't do anything. Like it just the coldness, you can feel the screen it's cold, but it doesn't make its way through the room. Does that make any sense? I had a can of Arnold Palmer on the windowsill to cool down, like right in front of the screen, and I grabbed it, and it was warmer than when I put it down because it's just got the sun on it. And I don't get it because it's 35 degrees outside. So how is the sun still that hot? I'm not following here. There's a foot of snow on the ground that is yet to melt, so I don't know. It's got to be pretty cold. And then I look at the apartment thermostat and it says 65 degrees. And I think, how in the heck is it 65 degrees in this apartment? My walls are turning black because they're burned. It's so hot in my room. It's insanity. The last note I have here is Saturday Night Live is bad. I get a lot of recommendations for Saturday Night Live on YouTube to watch like the old clips, and you watch the old episodes and they are so funny. And they're so good. And even just the acting, like you can watch, like I was watching this one, it was, I don't even know what the heck the story is about. I'll have to see what it was even called. It was something about a Senate hearing. It's called A Cold Opening, Joe Biden, Saturday Night Live. It's from 1991. It's this weird Senate hearing for this guy that was hitting on this worker, I guess. I don't know. It's based on a real event, but it was from 1991. So what am I supposed to remember it? I wasn't even a thought in God's mind in 1991. Either way, it's this Senate hearing where these people are standing across from each other, like at the hearing. I don't know, like a regular hearing. And I'm just watching it going like, where do they have the cue cards at? Like, where are they reading this? And then I realized, like, they probably just know their lines. Like, I'm sure they have the cue cards written down. Or even if they have the cue cards out, they're in a good spot. Like, you watch Saturday Night Live sketches now, and they don't even look at each other. They're like, you have two people standing across from each other, and one of them's looking off the stage, and the other one's looking off the stage. Like, they're not looking at each other. They're looking over each of their shoulders, and it's so painfully obvious. And you are supposed to give them some credit, I guess, where it's like, oh, well, they only have 3 days to learn them. Like, they write the sketches Monday, get them done by Wednesday, then Thursday they actually start rehearsing. So it's not that long. But it's also like, yeah, but that's your job. Like, your job is to learn your lines in 2 days. And if it were so easy, then why is it... If it's supposed to be, oh, well, give us a break, it's hard. It's like, yeah, but that's why you have a show. Is because it's hard. Like, if it were easy, then why would you have a show about it? That's why you don't have a show about how to cook a hot dog. You know what I mean? But you do have a show called Live Comedy that we basically called Live Comedy that we put together in 2 days. And it's a good show because that's impressive. And you look at these old Saturday Night Live sketches and you think, this is insane. Like the quality of comedy and the quality of acting and actors that they have. And even just what I don't like about SNL's cast now is you hear about, oh, well, we got Pete Davidson was a stand-up comic. Like all these, I mean, just whatever. Like now the cast is all stand-ups that are good at improv. Like you hear about they got John Belushi at the Chicago Improv Club or whatever. I don't know if that's true, but they got this guy at the Chicago Improv Club and this guy from the New York Improv Comedy Crew. And then it's all these good people that are good at improv comedy, just making stuff up off the fly. And then they take them to SNL, and then they go, oh, you're not allowed to improv. Everything is written. You're not allowed to go off script, or you'll ruin the show. And then it's like, well, then why don't you just have actors? Like, what's the point of them being comedians? You don't... Like, I guess it's different to have a comedian in a comedy movie. Like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, they recorded, or let's say Will Ferrell on Anchorman. There's an entire other movie that they've taken with the extra footage of Anchorman. Did you know that? Like, have you seen that movie? The movie was so long with so many subplots that they took all the extra footage and turned it into another movie called like Good Morning Ron Burgundy or something like that. And that's because those guys are all improv. Like, they just make stuff up. and there's so much extra footage that they were making stuff up. But then you take those same guys and you put them in SNL and say you're not allowed to make anything up. And then you go, well, why is it a comedian at all? Like, they don't need to worry about timing. You have every single thing written down back and forth. All the jokes are already written out for them. It's just weird. It's this weird, like, it makes sense they're comedians, but you think about it and you go, they don't have to be funny. I don't know. I have a lot of gripes with SNL. It's just kind of, it's definitely, it's not as fun as, like, hearing my dad talk about it when he's like, oh yeah, going to high school and college, like, that's all we watched. My dad's got every single tape of SNL that he watched recorded onto VHS, and it's just like, I mean, there's no reason to record them now, but it's like, even if I had them recorded, I wouldn't watch them. Like, I watch SNL clips on YouTube, and it's the ones from 1990, because the ones from today are just stupid. And it's not because, oh, they make jokes about politics, and it's just got, I don't know, it's just not funny anymore. It's just not, like, we've set this weird precedent now where if you say anything that some one person finds offensive, we have to cancel the show. And then it's like, but that's why you have the show, I guess. Like, if, and not even SNL, but just anything. It's like, you have a show because you're good at your job. You're so good that we wanted everyone to see you. And then it's like, but if this one person doesn't like you, then I guess that ruins our whole theory. I guess you aren't a good show after all. It's like, no, it's still a good show. You just are a baby. I guess. I don't know. SNL is bad, is all I have here. And it's just, it was a lot better back in the day when it was good actors. And also is like 30-year-olds. Like, you look, sorry, at SNL, you get a lot of young guys like the Adam Sandler, David Spade, Rod Schneider's coming in, like back in the 90s, but then it's also like Phil Hartman, Kevin Nealon, like these at least 30-year-old guys. Like Norm Macdonald was on Weekend Update, Dennis Miller was on Weekend Update, and all these people are like adults. I mean, clearly it's still adults now, but it's like fresh out of college adults or fresh out of high school, like 20-year-old comedians that are on SNL. Not that they're not worthy, but it also is just like, it's a different show when you leave, when the people in charge are 35 years old. I guess. Onward and upward, my friends, to the word of the day. Today's word of the day is, let me find it real quick. Sorry. Today's word of the day is a noun. A compendium is the word, compendium. A collection of concise but detailed information about a particular subject, especially in a book or other publication. Like a cookbook. An invaluable compendium of useful information about language. Like a Spanish textbook. The movie of the day is another Christmas movie, of course. You're going to have to bear with me here. I didn't have these already set up. The 1989 comedy family classic, Christmas Vacation. As the holidays approach, Clark Griswold wants to have a perfect family Christmas, so he pesters his wife Ellen and children as he tries to make sure everything is in line, including the tree and house decorations. However, things go awry quickly. His hick cousin, Eddie, and his family show up unplanned and start living in their camper on the Griswold's property. Even worse, Clark's employers renege on the holiday bonus he needs. What's renege? Renege. Go back on a promise. Renege. Sorry, that's the word. Renege. On a holiday bonus he needs. So it's just a classic Christmas movie. I hope you've heard of it. I'm kind of I don't really know many Christmas movies that no one's heard of. Unaccompanied Minors might be the weirdest one, and then Die Hard, I guess I had, and like Gremlins. But at this point, it's like, I know those are the last three I said, I guess, but from the other episodes. But at this point, it's like, what else is there? I can't not talk about Christmas Vacation. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. And it's the Christmas episode on White Coffee, so why would I not talk about it? Anyway, if you haven't given it a watch, it definitely deserves one. It's a classic family Christmas film. In the movie, is the song by Bing Crosby and the Andrews Sisters, Mele Kalikimaka. Let's give it a listen, shall we?
Mele Kalikimaka is a thing to say on a bright
I mean, that's just classic Christmas music right there. Nothing crazy. I don't really have like with the movies. There's not really any weird Christmas music that I listen to that if I showed it to you, you'd go, "Oh, I've never heard that," but that is a great Christmas song. I mean, I could show you like the Pentatonics, but they're lame. They're lame. Sorry, Pentatonics. You will never be Bing Crosby. All right. And that's That's another weird thing is like when can we like what's the newest classic Christmas song? Is it All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey? I mean, I haven't done any research for it. I'm just coming up with this right now, but like you know what I mean? I mean, of course we have like, oh, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Malika Maka, Happy Holidays, like Andy Williams songs, Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, all this crap from like all the same time period, really. And we consider all those the classics. But what song can we come up with now that we would look back and go, oh, you know what? That is an iconic Christmas song. And I'm not saying that there's not one. I'm just saying, what is it? Like, is it All I Want for Christmas Is You from whatever the 90s? Like that would be the most recent classic Christmas song? Or is there something that's come out since then that I'm just not thinking about that's like, no, come on, you got to remember Justin Bieber's Under the Mistletoe. I go, why would I listen to that? All right, I'm a 20-year-old man. Anyway, I'm sorry for yelling. And I'm sorry these episodes are getting weirder and weirder. I hope next week I can actually compose myself and have some stories to talk about. Maybe work. Maybe I'll get yelled at work today. And if I do, I'll certainly write it down and let you know what happens. Because I called off yesterday because of the snow, but we're not really supposed to call off because it's Christmas peak season. And also, I work upstairs. I'm one of 4 people that work upstairs, and I know 3 of us that normally are up there called off yesterday. So I hope I don't get fired. And if I do, it'll make for good content on white coffee, though. So I'm all right with it. Either way, I hope you can put this week behind you and just know where I'm coming from here. They're not as good as episodes as normal, even though the normal episodes aren't always as good or very good. But these ones definitely I can tell are just a different flow, and I hope you can just bear with me and understand where I'm coming from. I've got one more final. Next week I should be a lot more clear-headed. I should have much more of a clear head. I should be much more level-headed. All right. I'll see y'all on Tuesday. Goodbye, my loves.